No, I'm just curious. I was just watching Stephen Colbert in New York. He was making a bunch of funny comments. Now, what comes up for me is he did not mention this on the show. Excuse me. There is a gentleman that came on I had never seen before. I don't know where he works. His last name is LICCARDO, LICCARDO. No idea. Didn't say where he works. But now he looks like the guy from the 40-year-old Virgin. VIRGIN. Now, I'm just curious. Is he like the first kicks, last licks team? I'm just, because he's LICCARDO. Right, and we're still a virgin on those French fries, and like they weren't for everybody. I think that Stephen Colbert mentioned that Attorney General Barr is telling everybody, listen, the fries weren't for everybody. And now Janet Yellen just got elected. Now I have a question, because the Bush era, when I was trying to get on the calendar, was a little booked up. And the next year they could fit me and Christmas on the calendar was like 2020. Right, okay, so Janet Yellen, YELLEN, oh, she looks like a hoot. Like, that's the dinner party I'm gonna miss. I'll catch a replay on Marshall's camera, I'm good. So now she's like, what? She's got a relative who's a really handy guy with like a screwdriver. Right, he fixed like trunk once with a screw. I don't know, he pointed something out. I mean, that I obviously, you know, I mean, her like her credentials speak for themselves. You have an uncle that can raise and lower a trunk, and he knows that that little thing inside there's a screw. Wait a minute, you look like you're U.S. Treasury material. Now, Stephen Colbert pointed out that, like, she got on, then somebody threw her out, then they put a sign outside saying you have to be this tall in order to run the Fed. Like, these are serious things. I'm just confused where you all keep missing the bar. Like, Attorney General Barr is right. Like, those French fries from 1980s, right, they weren't for everybody. There was one, whatever they were meant for, and you all just helped yourself in the disgusting family of misfits that you are. So now I'm just curious. Burning Bush was in the whatever, head of some family-wise, I'm assuming, in CIA. At least that was the rumor. And then you've got, he was the one we had to ask for. I'm like, okay, well, what are the departments? Like, because Judy and I were sitting in the kitchen. She didn't get any education on this bigger family and this bigger white people thing. Like, how does it run? Like, who what are the names of the job, like the job titles we need to ask? Like, who's going to be important? Yeah, don't want to leave anybody off a funeral list for the future if they don't get me on the calendar right. Oh, no, I'll put you all on there, not a problem. Right, okay, so now, here's the thing, like, time and space is ripping apart, right, okay, special kiddo, like the one we named, like, the national holiday, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the parades in there, right, we gave you a whole bunch of things, like, really super important, right, world security, right, okay, she doesn't need to go to Harvard, she doesn't need 5 relatives that, right, you know, she's one of the pretty party. Right, yeah, no, she's breedable. Right, good. Okay, so we don't have the standards like we do at my uncle put a screw in a trunk once on a red SUV, so that means I have enough, and I'm a summa cum, nobody gives a shit, nobody attended it, and whatever. Not going to do the rest of us any good. It hasn't thus far. So now I'm just curious, when does this get helpful? Because, like, I know, like, there's some, like, U.S., like, security guard. Now, I saw before on the news, there was a report of 692 lawyers, LAWYERS, in the U.S. system lost The migrants, migrants. Now here's my question, which migrants? Because immigration is when you leave one country and you enter another. That's immigration. The place you left is immigration, and the place you enter, isn't that immigration? IMMIGRANTION? So the MI, it grants you what? Are these like the laziest fucking security guards on the planet that call themselves like DEA, CIA, FBI? Is it those pieces of shit that lost like some children along the way? Are we up to 600, 692? Or are those just like the Tory lawyers that like don't have law degrees, but like they're cute, so you keep them around? And then they have like large staffs and, right, everybody's all nervous and... Right, you go to like big functions, celebrities, you all think you're really hot shit, and I'm like, yeah, what, who? Right, okay, so now, just curious, like one agenda for 42 years, right? Bush really put me on the fucking calendar 30 years in the future of, wait a minute, if you're playing duck, duck, goose between idiot 1 and idiot 2, I'm Goose. Ugly Duckling and the Goose, right? Yeah, no, the one, the mongoose. Yeah, I sure fucking am. Mother Goose, yeah, top priority. She has all the French fries, right? And she doesn't share French fries, exactly. And she tried telling Bush that back in 1980 something, and Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev was really serious. And here we are, 42 years later. LICCARDO somewhere for first kicks, last licks. Does that mean like the salt liquors, we get something going now finally? I'm just curious because Yellen's got a little stuff in the eye. Looks a little, right, as like that, like a letter of recommendation that nobody needs like ever. I'm not looking for a fucking staph position or a staph infection, thank you. I'm looking for my betrothed, the one that looks like me that I was supposed to be married to. The one that usually comes from the place where they call it Johannes Vermeer. Not Johannes, right? But I come from America and I'm still in the worst fucking economical and political climate of dipshits with lollipops and then wants letters of recommendation and they don't like cursing. Fuck you. I hope U.S. Marshal shows up and starts being useful. Want to earn a bonus? Great. Go kill a couple of those. You're fucking circus on the mainstream, like, and then you're all what, uptight behind like bars? I don't think so. Get fucking moving. So now what's the migrant? So is that like the master intelligence grants what? Because I haven't gotten a grant my entire life. They're granting like what, passes for the U.S. people that don't do anything, that have staffs that don't even work with them anymore, because like, why am I helping this guy get ahead? Right, got it. Yeah, okay, so now I'm just curious, who's got their head up some fucking jackass? Like, what the fuck takes you all so long for being one person useful? I just need a hookup, like an introduction. In fact, at this point, fuck them. They keep playing Democrat duck, Republican duck. Great. So you're too fucking useless. Scratch that idea. Let's just go Goose. Right? You be like Goose, I'll be mongoose. Whatever. Like Gosling was in The Notebook, right? Like that was like how the life was supposed to be, right? Until humans got involved. Exactly.